do everything to protect its integrity. I believe that nothing should discourage the EFCC from doing their work. They should do their work. They're doing quite well, but they should try to make sure everything is within the ambit of the law. That's just what we're saying. But I just thank God Almighty that finally, the third time actually, that same court is saying the same thing over and over and over again. So this is not about who is wrong, who has won or who has lost. It's about this nation. Fighting against corruption is something that must be done, and we must continue to do that. Support EFCC to do that, but let it be within the ambit.
Court dismisses charges by anti-corruption body EFCC against Imo ex-governor Okorocha. The Federal Capital Territory High Court in Abuja has dismissed a case preferred against former Imo State Governor Senator Rochas Okorocha by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC). Justice Yusuf Alilu headed similar fraud charges filed by the anti-corruption body against the former governor favored Okorocha in an earlier judgment. Recall that the EFCC had accused Okorocha of committing fraud while in office as a governor of Imo State between 2011 and 2019. However, the judge described the charges as an abuse of the judicial process. Recall that the Federal High Court in Abuja on February 6 has discharged Senator Okorocha of 2.9 billion naira fraud charges preferred against him by the EFCC. Okorocha had been facing trial alongside the chieftain of the ruling All Progressive Congress (APC) in the state, Mr. Anyim Inyewere Chinyere, and 5 companies: Naphtali International Limited, Perfect Finish Multi-Project Limited, Consolid Project Consulting Limited, Palmleaf International Limited, and Legend World Concepts Limited. The EFCC had alleged that the defendants conspired and diverted funds to the tune of 2.9 billion naira belonging to the state. But Justice Inya Eko, in a ruling in February, struck out the EFCC suit for being in a contravention of Section 105, Subsection 3 of the Administration of Criminal Justice Act 2015, which gives the Honorable Attorney General of the Federation the power to recall a case. According to Justice Eko, the directive of the AGF and Minister of Justice Abubakar Malami (SAN) in a letter dated September 12, 2022 to the Anti-Graft Agency to forward the case file as well as the EFCC's comments on the issues for consideration and review was binding on the Commission. All that the law required of the respondent, the EFCC, was for the respondent, when directed by the Honorable Attorney General of the Federation pursuant to any enactment, is to comply and not act as if it is not under the law or is exempted thereby. For the avoidance of doubt, the office of the Honorable Attorney General of the Federation is founded on the provisions of the Constitution and is thereby preserved. The controversies and drama surrounding these trial proceedings are needless, and it is time to stop it, the court held. The judge further held that from the moment that the AGF gave the directive to the EFCC, the Commission ceased to have the legal authority to prosecute or continue the prosecution of the case. In other words, the intervention of the Honorable Attorney General of the Federation in any criminal proceedings ends the authority of the prosecuting agency in the matter unless otherwise directed by the Honorable Attorney General of the Federation. In the end, I find that non-compliance by the respondent with the directive of the Honorable Attorney General of the Federation, as stated in Exhibit Okorocha 7, is fatal to these proceedings and has rendered it a nullity. The respondent is not empowered by any law to continue with this proceeding after the Honorable Attorney General of the Federation issued a directive in Exhibit Okorocha 7. With Exhibit Okorocha 7, it is only the Attorney General of the Federation that can decide whether or not to charge the defendant upon the case file being remitted to his office as directed. Video shows more detail.
Let me now. Stop first.
understand? But we decided, in view of the mood of the nation and everything, yes, not to further adumbrate on this issue. The court has spoken, the court has spoken. And we just felt that, possibly, we didn't want to rub this in. Yes, we didn't want to rub it in, so that is the situation of things. You understand? People were in court. You listen to the proceedings. So, and then the client spoke to you, right? Yes.
But he's the client.
Yes.
You understand? Before we look out more for you, what would the person to just say is that, the court has delivered this ruling, and this see that this is the position of the court, and that is it. It's not 2 seconds, 2 minutes, that's all. Just that's it. Nothing specific. The court has delivered this ruling, you were in court, so whatever the EFCC want to do, they are free to do. As the court said that they should conduct their activities within the ambit of the law. That's all.
Came out today, and it just says that everybody should respect the law and nobody's above the law. That is the bottom line of the court's ruling.
What was the basis?
Well, it was based on the argument that we made in court, that the court found favorable our part and nothing more. Chidoko Eneke.
Nigeria is our nation, and we must do everything to protect its integrity. I believe that nothing should discourage the EFCC from doing their work. They should do their work. They're doing quite well, but they should try to make sure everything is within the ambit of the law. That's just what we're saying. But I just thank God Almighty that finally, the third time actually, that same court is saying the same thing over and over and over again. So this is not about who is wrong, who has won or who has lost. It's about this nation. Fighting against corruption is something that must be done, and we must continue to do that, support the EFCC to do that, but let it be within the ambit of the law. Thank you.
Thank you very much.